an example of really leading the charge in open imagery has been Digital Globe and being pushing the boundaries of saying, like, look, we understand that in the response of an earthquake, making open sourcing our some response imagery is key to coordinating and key to providing an effective response. And then, but the one thing is, open imagery it's built on this kind of federated idea of loosely joined groups called the Open Imagery Network, which is really groups coming together and saying, like, I'm willing to manage a source of imagery and connect it to this commons. And so HOT manages a bucket, and we call it just a bucket because we use Amazon S3, but it doesn't necessarily need to be an S3 bucket. It's just a highly available public file store that you then make available, and you allow OpenAerialMap to index it. And so the concept is very simple, but it's just getting started in terms of connecting groups that want to push the boundaries on open imagery. And so, so Blake touched on this, that one of the things is just being able to have imagery to do this and be able to collect in 24 hours, be able to digitize and provide critical data for a humanitarian response. But it's not just what I mentioned earlier, for humanitarian response, but for building projects or agriculture projects, having open imagery be able to think through new ideas is critical. So the OAM team, is led by HOT, and everyone, from Stamen to Xavier and Development Seed are thinking about a number of things, and these are the three main things that we've been working on: is community growth. We're working on more upload and sharing tools. So this week we're working on Google Drive integration and being able to have that as an option for someone to contribute and store their imagery. Same thing with Dropbox. And then a number of conduct and guidelines. The HOT is working on a project in the Pacific Islands called PACTED, which is essentially doing work with a group called the Pacific Community to generate not only like guidelines around a workflow for collecting and sharing open imagery, but applying OpenAerialMap principles in the Pacific. And so we're going to use that as a way to generate a number of documents that help kind of build this framework of guidelines. And then OpenAerialMap is on GitHub, and we are an open community. We're willing to have people join in on the project and contribute not only development and work, but if you're interested in contributing, helping document and provide user guides and think through or think through new features, we're happy to have people come and join in the project. So let me, that's a quick overview. What I want to do is just showcase a couple of things that I talked about. So this is when you go to OpenAerialMap, you'll see this is kind of the main landing page. We're running to showcase the tools that are made with OpenAerialMap, and so if you do have tools that you build on top of OpenAerialMap.
Hey Nate,
yeah.
I don't see the new window.
One sec. Trying to see how this is. Let me define what I thought I shared my whole screen. Do you not see my web browser?
No, I only see the presentation. You might have to manually add it in the share screen option.
I actually don't see where the share screen option is anymore.
Let me try resharing it with you. That might.
Yeah, if you could. And then I'll just share Chrome. Do you see it now?
Yes, I did see that.
Excellent. All right. So when you go to OpenAerialMap.org, you will land on this page. You'll see what I was mentioning. There's a view where you see the latest imagery, and so you can see some new imagery that was uploaded back in July. You can dive right in and view the latest imagery. And then we have a section called Tools Made with OpenAerialMap. So if you do build with OpenAerialMap, we're happy to highlight and share part of the community. So once you click on Start Exploring, you will go directly to a map browser. This is kind of what I was showing on the demo. So you can filter over here. You can see what the latest imagery is. So you just click that button. It loads it directly. And you can zoom right in and get a file preview of this. I'll show you a quick demo of what some new features look like. So one feature is being able to, actually I don't have this running, but essentially you'll be able to just have a preview view and be able to instead of just looking at a thumbnail, you will see the tile map service that has been generated and be able to zoom all the way in on a high resolution, which is great. If you click on the documentation, we have a number of documents, a number of pages that document all the different pieces from the browser to the design components that are behind OpenAerialMap. And so we've put an effort into making sure that all the tools and the pieces behind the entire system is open. On the back on the browser, so if you click upload, you're going to be taken to this web form. And one of the things is we don't have free, open access to contributing imagery, right? You need to request a token. And really, the only reason for this is to have a bit of a conversation about what type of imagery has been collected. Did you receive permission about it? And as a way to just briefly vet some imagery and talk through what's being contributed at the moment. But in the future, we want to have a bit more of guidelines and documentation and a process around this, and so it'll get more automated. But right now, if you request a token, you can send an email. It'll come right to me actually, and I'll respond with a quick token. And then you'll be able to have your key essentially for uploading and contributing to the system. We have the one feature that's new right now, so is a Dropbox integration. And so if you store some of your imagery or want to quickly store some of your imagery on Dropbox, this is a great way to be able to contribute into OpenAerialMap. And right now we don't have essentially streaming upload access directly into OpenAerialMap from the web browser, and so you need to have your files stored somewhere, whether that's on a public file store or on Dropbox or Google Drive. This is how we contribute imagery at the moment, and yeah, so that's kind of the quick overview of OpenAerialMap, and I'm happy to talk about, answer questions, comments, anyone who wants to contribute to the discussion.
Thanks, Nate. So if anyone would like to pose a question, please do feel free to do so. You can type them in the messages and I'll be reading. guess I have a quick question while everyone else gets their questions ready. And I'm not sure if you mentioned it, but how when you guys deal with like multiple sets of imagery at the same location, like over a period of time?
Yeah, that's so what right now we have. Let me just, I can kind of take you to a location. So if I go to DAR, so a number of images have been collected over DAR through the World Bank's program, Humanitarian. And so if I click on an area, I can actually see a number of, like, so what right now is we have it just organized by by location and on the map, and we don't have a rich kind of time filter quite yet, but mainly because there's not quite the need for it yet, and right now we're making it simple and easy to just filter last week, month, year, but that can grow in terms of how you search both spatially and then as well as temporally.
I think that'd be interesting to see as that evolves, as this type of imagery becomes more common and accessible.
Yeah, exactly.
So if anyone else would like to pose a question, you might be muted. So just you have to just check to see if you're muted, and you might need to unmute yourself. But I guess if there's no questions, I'd like to thank you very much, Nate, and Blake as well. I'd like to mention that OpenAerialMap is a WeRobotics member, and can't wait to get you guys' technology involved in our flying labs.
Likewise, yeah, no, we're definitely looking forward to being more involved. Yeah, if anyone has any questions, feel free to reach out directly. My email is just nate@hotosm.org, and happy to follow up anyone directly, individually. If you unsure about sharing imagery, happy to talk through and walk you through the process.
Thanks, Nate.
Yep. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And I guess just a quick announcement for everyone. Our next webinar should be sometime in late October. So, make sure you read our Google group, and we'll have all the information there. So, thanks again for everyone for attending, and thanks to you, Nate and Blake, again for taking the time to present.
Great. Thanks. Have a good afternoon.
Yep. Have a great day, everyone. Bye.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye.